I think around that time, I think you just described it as a whirlwind. Let's go with that. It kind of was pretty mad, and I don't have my memory's not great from that time. It was pretty insane. I think if I was to define our career over 5 songs, in no particular order, I think Out of the Black would probably have to be there. That was the first time that we heard one of our songs on the radio. So that was a kind of very key moment for us. Yeah, that's a track that we play live every single show. We kind of never done a show without it. So yeah, it would have been 10 years ago since we played this festival. But I think around that time, I think you just described it as a whirlwind. Let's go with that. It kind of was pretty mad, and I don't have my memory's not great from that time. It was pretty insane, but yeah, songs like Out of the Black and Figure It Out, that would be kind of up there as well. I think moving on from that record, I think Lights Out would be a key track for us. That's the first time we released a song with the idea of people waiting to hear what we did next, whereas on your first record, in our case, we only thought our friends were going to hear our record, so it was quite a big moment for us to kind of put a song out with an audience kind of waiting on the other side. I think it's the first time I felt pressure, maybe expectations, a better word than pressure, because I think we always apply an incredible amount of pressure upon ourselves to improve and to refine what we do. But I think that was the first time that we experienced that expectation, which isn't a very helpful emotion when you're trying to be creative. I think the best times being creative is when you're really doing that for yourself. So yeah, that was a tricky time for us as a band creatively. And I think it wasn't until album 3 where I think it felt like we shook that off and we were back into that mindset that we were in during the first record. I think there's probably some key tracks from the third record, Typhoons. I think Boilermaker was a big moment for us. Josh Homme produced it, and it just felt there was a kind of looseness about it that perhaps didn't exist on the second record. And again, that's a track we play live, I think every show probably. I think that's our probably first time making a departure and taking a step to the left, yeah, kind of a very exciting time for us because it really felt like we were doing something brand new for ourselves, and it felt like we were challenging ourselves, which is a good feeling. It's just a good feeling. It didn't feel like we were growing up in public. It felt more like we were cutting our teeth, with people kind of experiencing that in real time. And honestly, I actually think that's just part of being an artist. I think you're trying to grow and develop and and push yourself, and that means being uncomfortable and trying new things. Typhoons, though, it wasn't predetermined. We didn't sit down and decide to make that record. I think it was more a reaction to letting influences that hadn't really been explored before. And that's the kind of record that ended up coming out, if that makes sense. I don't know if this song was very defining for anyone else, but for me personally, there's a song called The Firing Line on the last record we did, which just felt like a return to a style of songwriting that I never thought could exist within the world of our band. So that was an important song. And I think Pull Me Through as well probably lives in the same world, where it was like quite a liberating experience because I got to kind of write at the piano and let those style of songs, it was like we could welcome that style into the band. I think we're very proud to have you know, made it through a decade, you know, as a band, and still, you know, be here getting to do this. Honestly, I think the thing that's more kind of powerful than that, though, I think, is the fact that I'm even alive and I made it through that kind of era of time, you know. So yeah, just being here and living and breathing is that's the thing I think I really take away from the past 10 years.